IMTV Velocities in Music. Today, we're going to do My Chemical Romance's new 2010 release, Danger Days, The True Lives of the Fabulous Killjoys. What a mouthful. And Tom, I just want you to, before I rant, I just want you to go.
Okay, My Chemical Romance, to tell you the truth, I have never liked this band. I have never liked them. I've always thought they were just kind of fake. I actually, now this, I gotta say though, I've never really given them a true chance because I've just kind of heard bits and pieces and it's never really intrigued me. So this is actually the first album I've taken the time to listen through all the way multiple times, but it just, I feel like really this album does not get even decent until track like 9 or 10. The first like 8 songs are just pretty bland, kind of sound the same. Now the last half it gets better, but at that point, is it really salvageable? I mean, you know, you're kind of pulling the lifeline on this thing, and it's just at that point.
Well, it's moreover that there's a couple tracks on here that are just awful, awful. I mean, like overproduced radio singles made for Twilight songs that just make you want to vomit. I mean, like,
it's actually funny you say that. Did you read about why they wrote Vampire Money?
Why?
Because they were asked to do a song for the Twilight soundtrack and I guess didn't or something.
Oh, but that's funny.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of funny. Now, I think a couple songs that here, and I don't want to get into a Twilight debate, but I think a couple of these songs are literally that bad. That just these god-awful tracks that are just, they're garbage. I don't know how to, verse, chorus, been done a trillion times before. I feel like, and one big criticism I have, I'm getting into a rant, I'm going to stop and turn it back over.
Rolling.
I really feel like when you turn, a lot of these songs, on the front half especially, on Danger Days, you listen to this and you're not getting any added value versus just turning on the radio to any random shit track played on those stupid pop stations that are brainwashing you. Why would you listen to this ever? Ever! Alright, Tom, keep going.
Yeah, well, honestly, I don't really have too much to say. I mean, it's just, the guitars are really good throughout the album, but really the songwriting, especially just, those first 8 tracks, they don't offer anything different from each other. They're just kind of bland.
A, B.
They're honestly really poppy, which is unexpected from a band that has always been really dark and kind of brooding and emo, really. But
one thing that bothers me, the lyrics get really taxing at times. It said taxing a lot today.
Yeah.
And that's a problem with me because I think that that's one dynamic. If you're going to have vocals, you might as well have every aspect of the vocals be really intriguing because it adds to the sound. The vocals, for that matter, the vocalist, well, I like the fact that he's trying to make his voice sound unique. It's almost reminiscent of something like an evolution of like what the Beastie Boys did. And that's kind of a cool take on it. But the problem is it only works, I think it works when they rock out, like on track 11, Destroya.
Great song.
Great song, easily both one of our track picks,
yeah.
But the problem is that he does it also on these songs like Bulletproof Heart and The Only Hope for Me Is You, which are, it just sounds, disgusting. It sounds like poop. It sounds like poop. Oh man. But yes, the production is very good. One thing I noticed is that the drum production is fantastic, big and beefy. The vocals are high in the mix. It's so high in the mix that, I mean, it's really hard to ignore them. And when they miss, it's really easy to see clearly they're missing. And I don't like that. I think that if you're gonna have shitty vocals, put them lower in the mix to put the focus on other things. I think that there's some strategy there. But this is not that type of music. This is made to sell albums, and overall I think that these guys actually have a lot of talent. I posted an interview on our website that actually shows that they're quite mature and very smart and intelligent guys. The problem is that I feel like they're just trying to write a successful record, or maybe their record company just has them by the balls, and I don't think that that's appropriate. They should take a stand, use their talent wisely, and write a really strong album instead of an album that's trying to make radio hits, which they do a good job of, I guess, if you're going to do that.
And they always have.
Right.
And that's the thing. That's the thing that I don't get, because this is an interesting step for this band. Going from the really dark stuff to the kind of the poppy, sparkly, almost some glam aspects in this album. And the thing is, I don't get it, because their last two albums, Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge and Black Parade, were really successful. Right. Had lots of big radio hits.
Guitar Hero.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't really need much more than that. So I don't understand. You know, if it was a record company thing, it doesn't make any sense. But at the same time, even if it was just them, I think that this is a kind of thing where it's really going to be polarizing for fans. I think now I haven't looked into it too much. I've seen that there's some people who are just like, Danger Days, Two Lives of Fabulous Killjoys, this is like the best album in 2010. No, it's not. And obviously those people are just very crazed fans, and I bet we're going to get a lot of negative feedback from a lot of you crazed fans out there, and that's fine. You know, agree to disagree. But I bet that there's equally as many really big My Chemical Romance fans that are going to be pissed about this album and think, what the hell are you doing? Yeah. What happened to the dark love of the band?
And like we said, these guys are clearly talented and write songs. And I even think they attempted to albumize it. It's just, I didn't like the way that they albumized it. There's two tracks on here that I think are absolute misses. I mentioned them earlier. They're just totally got me, like, pissed me off. I want to skip them. And then they start the album, they have a traffic report in the middle, and then they end the album with kind of this commercial. It's just this guy, he's really just saying gibberish. I'm sure it means something. I'm sure there's a story behind it. It's kind of entertaining. But at the same time, it's so loud. I mean, they really cranked the volume up on it. And it sounds like a commercial. They even turn the volume up like a commercial. If I wanted to listen to commercials, I would listen to the radio. When I listen to an album, I don't want to be interrupted by a commercial that sounds like it's selling something. It just bothers me. I understand what they were trying to do, and I appreciate the fact that they're trying. I really do. I didn't get it. I didn't like it.
Really, though, I would have liked for them to take the whole concept a step further, because in my research, I found that while they were going for kind of a concept, it was only kind of a quasi-concept. Like, there's these characters that they made for themselves, but there's not actually a strict story. Now, if you watch the music videos, there's a little bit more of that, but it's really not that clear. It's more just mood-enhancing rather than actually guiding the music. And I would have liked to see it guide the music a little more, because songs like Bulletproof Heart and The Only Hope for Me Is You, stuff like that, I mean, it's just like, how could this possibly fit into that storyline? And I guess it really doesn't. So it's like, I would have liked to see that.
Right. But tracks like Scarecrow, Destroya, The Kids From Yesterday,
really good.
Really good. Higher quality. But even then, I mean, I was thinking to myself, like, comparing those tracks to all the other tracks I like, I mean, even the better tracks on this album aren't just mind-blowing fantastic. Now, there is some great production, great guitar work. You know, they're doing some really cool things here. And then I think that if you want a good mood, a fun, upbeat mood, and don't want to think a lot about the music and just kind of enjoy it, this will be an album that you should check out. Now, if you're looking for depth, if you're looking for something that gives you some intellectual stimulus, this is not where you should turn.
You're not going to find it here.
And that's just kind of where I'm at. I'm looking for something a little bit deeper in music, and this just doesn't give it to me. But that's I think is it for me.
Yeah.
I'm going to give this a 64.
I'm going to give it a 62.
So tell us what you guys think. We know that some fans out there are going to be pissed, but tell us, is there anything that you agree with? Let us know what you think. I'm Jake.
I'm Tom.
Thanks for watching. We are VIMTV, moving music critique forward.